All right, welcome to Yin Yoga, and today's focus is going to be the low back, mid back area. And if you just reach your hands around behind and as if you're trying to scratch the low back, you can feel that area of the body connected to the hips connected to the legs, but as it radiates upwards to the shoulder blades, shoulders, neck. So it's really a critical area that seems to be a central focus of the limbs, hips and shoulders. And we'll start with a little bit of rotation here today, so a little bit of movement just to get into that low back feeling. Is find a comfortable seat, whether you're cross-legged or kneeling. I'll probably kneel on this one just to break up my seating pattern. You can sit however you like. And then grabbing the thighs or the knees, just start to twirl the torso slowly in a circle. And as you twirl it, let the arms become nice and loose, so the elbows and the shoulders feel loosey-goosey. And let the head and neck be nice and loose. That's it, good. Nice and loose as well. And as you twirl, especially as you come forward, you should feel that in the low back, mid back. Now pause and twirl in the opposite direction. That's it. And slowly come to stillness, pause. And while we're on the theme of moving the spine in different directions, let's try some lateral movements. Leaning to the right, left hand comes up and over. You can either tap the top of the back of the head or reach over an umbrella over, whichever you prefer. They both give slightly different stretches through the rib cage. Come up through neutral, exhale to the other side. And maybe a few more on each side. Come to neutral. And then we'll simply do a hug the tree. So reach around, clasp the hands behind the back, pull the shoulders back so you feel an arch in the back. Release, and then reach around as if you're hugging a big tree. Drop your head, chin to chest, rounding the back. Reach the arms up above the head. And then reach around behind again, straighten the arms, pull the shoulders back, look up, exhale, release, hug the tree, drop the head. 2 more rounds in your own time. Good. And then coming back to neutral, turning to the left, right hand crosses the midline of the body. The left hand can reach around and grab the waistline of the pants, and you can bring that left shoulder back. thoracic twist, and then turn the head to the right. And start turning the head left to right, slowly, working the upper spine, the neck, while the mid spine is in that constant twist. Inhale the head gently to neutral, relax the arms, let the body unwind. And you should notice a distinct difference in the way the body feels after that twist to one side. Let's go to the other side. Really pull that right shoulder back and then start turning the head slowly in each direction. And slowly release. Come back to neutral. There should be a little energetic feeling in the body. So come to a seat where you're on a rolled up towel or blanket, just to elevate the hips a little bit. Have a strap handy, maybe a bolster handy and some blocks. And we'll start with a wide straddle. So you can see when we hit the low back, it's impossible really not to hit the legs, thighs. So wide V. If that's at all uncomfortable, you can support the back of the knees with blocks or cushions. And then we're simply going to use blocks or bolster to support the head. The good thing about a bolster is you can move the base of the bolster away from you over time, and that's going to increase the sensations of stretch in the back of the hamstrings and into the lower back. Settle into your breathing here. Keep the toes curled back. And see if you can hit just enough sensation to feel the stretch without grimacing. And allowing the time, and this is the beauty of Yin Yoga, we just spend a little time here giving the muscles and the brains and the nervous system plenty of time to communicate to each other. So that the tightness in the muscle might relax. So you relax more deeply into the stretch rather than force it. So as your head becomes heavy on the bolster or blocks, that might be an indication you can move the base of the bolster further away and increase the stretch a little bit. If you increase too quickly, you'll feel yourself recoil. 5 more breaths here. Now come out, grab the bolster with the hands and push down on the bolster to lift your head away slowly. And then bring the right foot up against the left thigh. So you keep that left thigh. Grab your strap at this point and hook up the bottom of the foot. And believe it or not, the bottom of the foot also adds to low back tightness. So we're going to floss the bottom of the foot by simply pulling quite strongly against the skin at the bottom of the foot, the arch. And this helps compress the fascia and hydrate the fascia, which gets very dry and brittle and tight, and because it's all connected to one long sheet of fascia that goes all the way up into the low back and higher, that hydration loosens the whole sheet up. Now come into a static pullback with the toes curled back, pulling against more towards the top of the arch. Drive out through the heel. And then slowly walk your hands down the strap, stopping wherever you feel there's enough sensation to deal with. And we have an interesting position here where the position of the head makes a big difference. So you can keep the chin away from the chest. This is a hinge, and we'll feel the stretch right down into the particularly left low back. Or you can drop the head towards the knee, rounding the back. That changes the stretch significantly. Spreading it out more. And you can do a combination of both of those. Sometimes head lifted, sometimes head dropped. Just play around, see if you can find your Goldilocks spot where, oh yeah, that hits it. And once again, if it's too much, just back off a little bit, don't overdo it. Two more breaths here. And then slowly sliding the hands back to the strap, come into an upright position and take both ends of the strap into the right hand. And the left hand is simply going to reach across and grab that right knee. So you feel this crisscross of the elbows. And just like what Amanda was doing, we're going to start to lift that right elbow up as if you're trying to peek up underneath your arm towards the ceiling. And to begin with, we'll make this a little dynamic so you can drop the elbow and come back upright. And then lift it up again. So you're just moving and feeling how that changes the stretch significantly into that. It's not quite the left low back, but it's the left rib cage, which is connected to the low back. Do that several times, maybe 5 or 6 times, until you feel like you can keep that elbow up and you can keep peeking underneath the arm towards the ceiling. So there'll come a point where your body starts to adjust to that. That's it, good. And when you've found you can hold it statically for a while, control the breathing by slowing the breath down and breathing more gently. There's a tendency to do a little panic breath here. And once the breathing starts to relax, you can then start to walk your right hand down the strap towards the toes of that left foot. That's going to increase the intensity of the stretch. Once again, you're only doing it to 60 to 80%. You don't want to overdo it. Relax the shoulders, relax the breath. 3 more breaths here. Walk your hand back up. Take your time. Take your time. Ooh. Now, keeping the same shape, releasing the strap, you're simply going to take the hands out in front of you and just walk the hands towards the top of the mat. That's it. You can put hands on blocks if you prefer and stretch out with the blocks. Ah, 5 more breaths here. Again, you can play with your head position, either dropping it or keeping the chin away from the chest, whatever you prefer. Or both. To come out, walk the hands back towards you, letting the hands prop you back up. Whew. We're going to switch sides. So we'll work on that right thigh. So even though we're hitting the back, you can see how it moves out into the hips and legs. Let's start with flossing the foot. And then work the strap up to the top of the arch, and you can start to walk your way forward down the leg. Once again, looking for that 60 to 80% sensation. You can play with head position, either dropping head towards knee or keeping the chin up. And you may have a preference there. You can do both, of course. And over time, you might move the hands closer to the feet or not. 3 more breaths here. And then slowly walking the hands back along the strap. Oh, coming up slowly. Transferring both ends of the strap into the left hand this time. And the right hand is going to reach across the midline of the body so you feel that crisscross. And just start with that feeling, just noticing how that feels in the body. Hips, legs, low back. Good. And then we'll do our flapping chicken wing and just bring it up gradually to begin with and down. Just up and down, nice and gradually. And you'll start to feel the mechanics of the body here as you lift the elbow. That right ear is going to come down towards the right leg. You get that leaning sensation. So you get the lateral flexion in the spine. And over time you might find the elbow just gets up higher and higher naturally. It's almost like that morning stretch. Ooh, big stretch in the morning. And then you keep doing that until you feel the elbow's okay to stay up there. And this is where it's important to calm the breath down. Slowing the breath. And when the breath is calm, and you start to feel calm, you can walk the hand down the strap closer to the foot if you like. As soon as the breath becomes panicked, then you want to pause and come back to your breathing, calming the breath. Five more breaths here. Now remember, when you come out really slowly and gradually. It's a big hold for the body. Shoulder back, neck. And just give yourself time to acclimate here. Holding the shape, half dragonfly, you can walk the hands out towards the top of the mat. And once again, explore with head position up or down. Three more breaths. Walk the hands back towards the hips, coming out slowly. And this time you can remove what you're sitting on and stand the feet on the edge of the mat. Lean back into your hands. And simply windshield wiper the knees slowly from side to side. Over time, the range of motion will grow. And then you can take the rear hand, so as the knees sweep to the right, the left hand sweeps around and look behind you. So once again, bringing that movement all the way through the spine, through the low back, mid back, shoulders and neck. And then prepare for deer pose. So in deer pose, let's start with the right leg. I'll sit sideways so you bring the shin parallel to the top of the mat. Lean into the right hip and the back knee and the front knee, both 90 degrees. So you're kind of sitting back, leaning back, just feeling that nice Z shape there. Now, if that front knee is elevated, put something underneath it like a towel or a cushion, so you've got something that supports it. So you're not going to strain the hip here. And then we're going to slowly walk our hands on to our elbows over that front leg. Now, if both elbows don't quite reach, if one elbow is elevated, you can cushion it as well. The breathing should be relatively calm here. If it's not, just slow it down. As it slows down and you feel the inclination, you're going to reach your antlers out. You're going to reach those hands away from the head, creating the stretch. Yes, it's going to hit the front thigh. It's also going to reach into the low back. Experiment with the head. You can let the head become heavy and loose, or you can keep it upright. Five more breaths here. And gently walk the hands back so that the arms pick you up. And take your time to come back through neutral. Just notice, leaning back, how the left hip and the right hip feel. And then you can windshield wiper the legs again, just to bring some circulation back. As you get the range of motion, you can flail that one arm around and look. So we want to keep the back lubricated so it doesn't become too static. Now we're going to set ourselves up in the opposite direction, so the left shin becomes parallel to the top of the mat, and both knees 90 degrees, and you're leaning back into the left hip. Look at that front knee supported if it needs it. Let the body acclimate to the shape, remembering we're going to bring the torso toward the front shin in a moment. I'm just going to adjust so I've got reach room above. Okay, let's walk towards that front shin, propping yourself up on that left elbow and then right elbow. The breathing should feel pretty calm. Slow it down a little more. When you feel the breath become smooth, slow, gentle, that's when you can start to walk out for more sensation. Walk the hands out. Come back to the breath, make sure it hasn't reverted to some panic breathing. That just simply means you're probably in pain. So we want to work in the pain-free range here. Three more breaths. Walk your hands back to lift you back up. Come back to the neutral, wide feet on the mat. Bring some movement back into the hips. And then the shoulders and neck, you can sweep the arm around. And then pause, have a strap handy, have your bolster handy. And we'll come down onto the back. Where's my strap? I know you're here somewhere. There you are. Bring the knees together, feet apart. Let's give the back some time to become aware of itself. As you become aware of any tension held, particularly in the low back arch area, can you invite that area to soften until you feel it sink down in towards the mat? Allowing the back body to let go of its rigidity, its tension. And while you do that, you might move the head to the left and right. Make sure the neck is remembering to stay freed up. Good. And then let the knees come apart. Walk the feet a little closer to your hips so you can push down and lift the hips up into a bridge pose. And then take your bolster underneath your hips. Bring the hips back down onto the bolster so you're in the supported bridge. And bring both knees up and hug both knees in towards the ribs so you feel a traction in the low back. Keep hugging the left knee in, but straighten the right leg out to the top of the mat. So we're trying to get the hip flexor a little freed up here on that right side while you traction out. The left low back. Slowly straighten the left leg, heel to heaven, grab the back of the hamstring. Toes curled back. And rotate that left foot. Rotate the left foot the opposite direction. And then slowly bring the right leg up to join the left leg. Grab both hamstrings. Pull both hamstrings back towards you. Lower the left leg, bend the right knee, and hug the right knee into the ribs. Keep squeezing that right knee. Letting the left hip flexor lengthen. Right heel to heaven, grab the hamstring. And start to rotate that right foot. Rotate the right foot in the opposite direction if you haven't already. And bring both heels up, bring the left leg up, grab both hamstrings, pull back. Now bend both knees, dangle both shins, and as best as you can, I want you to reach out with your hands to see if you can grab the feet. If you can't grab the feet, grab the shins or ankles. Now keeping the knees bent, you're going to open the knees out to 90 degrees, so you're in what we call happy baby. The feet are trying to face the ceiling while you grab them. We'll be here for 5 more breaths. And slowly let the feet drift back to the floor. Push down with the feet, lift the hips up and remove your bolster. And then lower the hips back down, knees together, feet apart. Just notice if the back feels different. And then cross the right knee over the left knee into floppy shin. Work your arms until they're 90 degrees out from the shoulders, palms face down. Stop the flop. Press the low back into the mat, press the left foot into the mat and lift the hips up. And you're going to roll onto the left hip into a twist here. Keep your hands planted, your shoulders planted. Feel that lumbar twist. Smooth the breath out, let the breathing become gentle. Slower, rhythmic. And let that relaxed breath inform any muscular tightness you are experiencing. Let the breath whisper relaxation into that muscle. To come out, simply bring the knees up, come onto your back, uncross the knees. Knees together, feet apart. And then we'll cross left knee over right knee into floppy shin. And stop the flop. Let the low back press into your mat. Right foot into the mat. Hips lift, and you're going to roll onto the right hip this time. And feel that twist come over. You can explore head position by turning the head into different positions, finding the position. I would say that just feels really good. Smooth out the breath. Slow breath. Gentle breath. Let the breath whisper relaxation into the muscles that you feel on this side. Two more breaths here. Carefully make your way back onto your back, knees together, feet apart. Once again, noticing how the back feels. Gradually make your way up to a seated position. And grab your bolster and bring the bolster onto your mat parallel to the long edge of the mat. Now I'm going to recommend you have a rolled up towel or blanket handy. And put it at the top of the bolster, on top of the bolster at the end away from you. Turn your back onto the bolster and just sidle up till you feel the bolster on your low back, and then carefully lay yourself down onto your bolster. Adjusting the thickness of the blanket under your head. Some people may not even want the blanket under their head, but you want to feel comfortable in this position. So this is a restorative back bend. Starting with the knees together, feet apart. Arms about 45 degrees out from the hips, palm up. Carefully straighten the left leg only. And let the right knee fall out to the side. Keep it bent. And the foot, right foot, gently caresses the left thigh, left knee. So you're in tree pose in this restorative back bend. Carefully straighten that right leg and bend the left and come into tree pose on the other side. And then carefully stand both feet on the mat. Bring the feet together, knees together. Still in the restorative back bend. And then let the knees fall out to the sides into butterfly. Soles of the feet touching. Inhale, bring the knees slowly up, standing the feet. Knees together, feet apart for 3 breaths. Now roll onto your side body, onto the side of the body that you normally would not roll onto. So if you habitually roll to the right, roll to the left. And if your predominance is the left, roll to the right side. So you just roll and keep yourself on the bolster. And then press yourself up. And come to a comfortable seated position. Grab the thighs and do some torso twirls nice and slowly at the end of the practice. This will give you a little benchmark how the back may or may not feel different from the original twirls at the beginning of class. And remember to twirl both directions. And then find some stillness. Find some relaxation. Find some joyful areas in the body. And thank you for joining me this week. Namaste.